everybody, thank you for coming. I am here to inform you about the importance of reading. It is important to start instilling the values of reading into your children when they're young, when they're babies. Start reading to them nightly. And then as they grow up and they're able to read some more on their own, have them read a minimum of 20 minutes a day. And I think that if you pick the right materials, they will develop a love of reading. And it's important because, especially for children, it helps them to develop a wider vocabulary. Not only is reading a stress reliever, it's entertaining, and it's relaxing and an escape. If you wake up in the middle of the night, can't go back to sleep, pick up your book, try to read for 10 or 15 minutes and see if that will help relax and put you back to sleep, because it works for most people. So I wanted to talk to you about a few of my favorite books. Some of them, it's been a while since I've read them, but they're just ones that have always stuck in my mind. This one here, Defending Jacob by William Landay. It's only a couple of years old, but it's about a assistant district attorney. His name is Andy Barber, and his 14-year-old son is accused of murdering a classmate. And he's kind of stuck in this dilemma because his natural instinct as a parent is to protect his child. But at the same time, in the back of his mind, he wonders, could he have possibly done this? So it's, psychological, it's the love of family. And then they talk about are some people just born inherently evil? Or is there a murder gene? Because his grandfather is in prison for committing murder. And then you have, which I think I've backed up here too far, The Nine in the Well. This is set in 1931 in the midst of the Deep Depression. A 9-year-old Tess Moore and her sister witness what they think is someone dropping a baby into a well on their property. The whole backdrop of the story is not no one believes her, so they kind of keep this hanging throughout the story, and at the end you'll find out what really happened with that. But it's mostly about how this family lives in poverty, but yet they still teach their children and instill hard work ethics into them, values, and charitable giving. Even though they really have nothing to give, they teach their children they should always give. The next novel is called Still Missing. Now this one is definitely not for the faint of heart. I had a hard time getting through the first half of this. It's a real estate agent who's abducted out of a home that she's having an open house for, and she's taken to a remote cabin, and she's held hostage for about a year from this man she refers to as the freak. And believe me, he is. So the whole book is set on her therapy sessions as she's talking to her counselor and recalling all these events in her life, and why is she now so fearful and afraid to leave the house, and she's trying to work through all this. Good, but like I said, not for the faint of heart. The next book is called What I Saw and How I Lied by Judy Blundell. I actually found this one in the youth section at the library, and I picked it up because it was not such a big novel that I knew I could kind of breeze through it. But it's set in the aftermath of World War II in the 1940s. And this girl is coming of age, and she's kind of caught in a dilemma where her mother and her stepfather are being accused of murdering someone that was in the army with her stepdad, and she steps up on the stand and she chooses to protect them instead of doing the right thing. So I thought it was a pretty good book. It won the National Book Award. The next one, Intensity by Dean Koontz. It is definitely, the title fits the name, the storyline. It's an intense page turner. It's a pulse pounder, and you will find yourself flipping the pages and reading as fast as you can to find out what happens. It's a cat and mouse killer survival thing. It's pretty good. The next book is by Randy Susan Myers. It's called The Murderer's Daughters. This is her first book. She now has a new one out that I haven't read yet. But this is about two small girls who live in an abusive household, and the mother and the father are separated, And the older daughter, against what her mother's always told her, lets her dad into the house one night when he's in a drunken rage, and he kills their mother and stabs the youngest child. The oldest one runs for help, but he's in prison, and so now the whole story follows a 30-year path where the girls are trying to, you know, forgive their dad. Even the little girl who got stabbed is the one that wants to forgive her dad, no matter what. The other one, she never wants anything to do with him. But, so it's, you know, how they overcome this tragedy in their lives. The next book is called The Year the Colored Sisters Came to Town. Now, if you liked The Help, you will like this book. It's a little hard to find. I had to order a used copy off the internet. It is not available in Kindle edition, only in paperback or hardback, but it's the same type of story. It's about, it's set in the 1957 era, and little Vivian Lee Dubois is the main character, and she's funny and cute, and it talks about racial relations of that time and how hard they were. The next book is called The Glass Castle and Half Broke Horses, and these are both by the same author, Jeanette Walls. They both lived. This is the granddaughter, and then she does a prequel of her grandmother from Half Broke Horses, and it tells about how their lives were during the Depression, living in this really severe poverty and dysfunctional families. You wonder how they even came out of it. And then you have some of my favorite authors. I will just tell you, Michael Lee West writes Southern fiction, very cute novels. Same thing with Fannie Flagg. Her novels are cute Southern novels. And John Grisham, legal thrillers. And the late Vince Flynn, who we lost last summer to cancer at the young age of 47. He writes superb thriller, espionage-type spy novels. Well, thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll consider to read some of these. Good night. Very good.